Panama, home of exotic animals, magnificent rainforest, and home of the second most strategic waterway in the world, the Panama Canal.
The canal, often called the Big Ditch, connects the Pacific Ocean with the Atlantic Ocean, which makes trade and transportation easier than ever. The Panama Canal is located at 9 degrees north.
The canal is made up of 6 lakes and rivers. They are the Madden Lake, Charges River, Gillard Cut, Limon Bay, Gatun Lake, and Miraflores Lake. This canal, which opened in 1914, saves ships 2,000 to 8,000 miles from traveling around the tip of South America.
From 1914 until 1979, the canal was owned by the U.S., but in 1979 the canal was handed over to Panama.
This stuff is very exciting, but for now, we must start at the beginning. No, not that beginning. Let's try fast forwarding to 1881.
Actually, the Panama Canal today was not the first canal that was planned to be built there. Colombia granted permission to a private company to build the canal named Compagnie Universelle des Canaux Interroqués, sponsored by the French. The same company also built the Suez Canal. This plan was protested strongly by Adolphe Golden de la Plaie, so he created another plan. This process was extremely slow, and they dropped the project.
Finally, the Schooner Act of the U.S. was put into plan. The U.S. government brought the progress from the French company and tried to work out a treaty with Colombia, but Colombia didn't want the canal. Panama, however, wanted the canal. So Panama won their freedom from Colombia, and Panama and the U.S. signed the Hay-Brunel-Villara Treaty. They also started to build the canal. This changed the original thought of the U.S. putting the canal in Nicaragua. The French lost all of its faith in the construction and the leader. The French were seriously in debt, and a lot of workers dying because yellow fever and malaria. Both of these diseases were tropical diseases and passed on to humans by mosquitoes.
President Theodore Roosevelt and Senator Mark Hanna were very committed to the canal. Theodore Roosevelt was so committed to the canal that he was also called the father of the canal. Most of the actual construction of the canal was done under William Howard
Taft.
There were 2 problems with the creating plan. There was still argument about if locks would be built and if there would be a river that was near the canal that would charge the river that could easily flood the canal. But Roosevelt fixed the problem by approving locks and making the dam in front of the changing river. This dam created the largest artificial lake in the world, called the Gatun Lake. The lake also formed 20 miles off of the canal route.
The French canal workers had an epidemic of yellow fever and malaria, but the U.S. understood how these diseases worked, and they were contained. In 1906, the U.S. employed more than 40,000 workers to start working on the canal. They used more than 100 steam shovels, and the U.S. built a railroad at the bottom of the canal to carry away the earth and dump it in the sea. David Dubois-Gillard supervised the canal until he died in 1913. Gillard Cut was named after him. The workers used rock drills, dynamite, and steam shovels to remove the earth. After all this work, the canal finally opened on August 15, 1914. The ships are lifted over a mountain by the system of locks. These systems pump water into the locks by using the gravity flow of nearby lakes. Each lock is the exact same dimensions each lock is built in pairs, so ships can go back and forth in either directions at the same time. Each lock has 2 gates, each one 20 meters wide and 2 meters thick, operated by electric motors in the walls. These are operated by control towers, which also operate the flow of water. Each lock is 300 meters long, 33 meters wide, and 12 meters deep. All large ships have to go through with being attached to cars on the side of the locks that pull them through. Small ships go through with their own power.
Breakwaters have also been produced to protect the ships that go through the canal from strong storms that go through the canal. Breakwaters are barriers that protect an area from full force of a body of water. In these waters, there are terminus, where ships negotiate the navigation of the canal for 15 to 20 hours, and it takes a large ship of an average 9 hours to exactly navigate it.
The canal. The Panama government has also created the Panama Canal Authority, which operates, conserves, and administrates the Panama Canal. This organization, which was created in the December of 1999, has 11 board members and is funded by the Panamanian government.
When you go through the Panama Canal, you also have to pay tolls. When the U.S. was under control of the Panama Canal, the U.S. made all of the money to go into the maintenance of the canal. The Panama Canal Authority approved the United States toll system, and they only changed it a little bit because every year they had to pay a sum of money to the Panamanian government. They calculate the toll by the weight of the ship.